Hello, lovelies. How are you on this gorgeous Monday? Oh, I'm so glad to be here. If you are seeing this, you are catching the replay. So drop after party or replay for me in the comments. And then do me the hugest favor ever and comment as if you are live. I love going through and reading your comments. I love seeing what you have to say. And I respond if it's appropriate. So please comment as if you were here in real time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we are starting first with a drawing. So if you share my live videos and you drop shared in the comments and you share them publicly, you get your name entered into, and these are videos on my timeline. Any video on my personal timeline, if you share it publicly and you drop shared in the comments so that I know you shared it, because sometimes it's like someone shared it but it doesn't show me who, then I get your name put into this infinity cup. And sometimes people's names come out and they get a 30-minute one-on-one with me. Sometimes they get 111 coaching dollars to apply to anything that they want. Sometimes they get like bonus access to the VIP day that I do every single month. Like, you never know what might happen if your name comes out of this cup. So let's draw a name for 111 coaching dollars. Ooh, Montana Dodd, you have 111 coaching dollars. And somebody drop next in the comments, just in case Montana passes. If you drop next in the comments, then I will message you and let you know if Montana has passed. And if you would like to claim it, I will ask you in Messenger if you would like to claim that 111 coaching dollars. So even if someone else has said next in the comments, go ahead and say next also, because it may pass to you. You never know. So congratulations to Montana. And now I want to continue the discussion. I have a hair. I want to continue the discussion that I started with y'all yesterday in a Facebook Live on my personal page, so you can go find it, on the 3 Ds. So yesterday I told you that the 3 Ds that I was talking about were desperation. This hair is not leaving. Oh my gosh. Hi, Skip. Hi, Joanna. Hello, hello, hello. So 3 Ds are desperation, and it's a fine line between desperation and desire, and then disappointment. And so to have all of what I talked about yesterday, you're going to need to go watch that video. It's like 40 minutes long. I'm not going to cover that 40 minutes here in the first 2 minutes or something like that. So go watch that video, but this one is just as relevant even if you haven't watched that one yet. So hang with me and then you can go watch it after. And please comment on that one as if you're live too, because I read all of your comments and it's amazing. And so my name is Sarah Jordan and I am a cycle syncing coach, but I'm a life coach overall. And so, yes, I work with women in cycles, like I work with women in food regarding their cycles to help them have a better cycle. And bleeding or not, you have a cycle. I help women with their fitness in regards to cycles. I help women with their businesses in regards to cycles. But I also love talking energetics with my clients. I love talking emotional blocks with my clients, which actually is cyclical too. So that's cool. And I love talking business. I absolutely love talking business. In fact, my entire summer, all of my courses have been business related courses. So if you're looking for a biz coach, if you're looking for a biz consultant, and you resonate with me, I would love, love, love to work with you. So we're going to talk today more about desire and disappointment. So when you have been sitting in desperation so long, when you have been sitting there and like you see other people maybe starting a business, you see someone else that had a business for like a year or 2 years, and maybe you were in the original course that they were in with them, and they did all the things that you both learned how to do, and you didn't do those things, and now they're doing really well with this business that they ran with, and you didn't do those things, and now you're like, desperation because you see what the potential is, because you took the same course at the exact same time. But now you're sitting in desperation because she's doing it and I'm not. Or maybe you have a friend and that friend is, I don't know, their husband has a different career than your husband does, or they have a different career than you do, and they have moved into their dream home, their dream property, and you go visit and you're like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. But you're sitting in a disempowered place and you're looking around going, this is gorgeous, but I don't have this. And I can't fathom ever being able to have this. And instead of being in desire, you're in desperation. Like, why does she get to have this? Why can't I have this? How come they get to dream and create this life that they want and I don't get to? Have you been there? I've been there. I've taken the same courses with other people and watched them just like skyrocket businesses. I remember one, I think it was spring. It was like January, February, March of 2018. I took a course with a biz mentor that was specific to my product-based company. And I'm friends with a lot of the people that were in that same exact course with me. And I did the things that I was supposed to do, even though it felt like pulling teeth to do them because they were in extreme masculine energy. The woman teaching this course was in extreme masculine energy. The steps that she gave us to do was extreme masculine energy. And at the time I had 3 babies, one of which was like 4 months old, 5 months old. And the things that we were being told to do, it was like, I can't. I'm home full time with these kids and you want me to do what? Which is why the art of feminine selling is coming, because had I had that course in 2018, we might not be coming up on my first 100K. We might be coming up on my third or fourth 100K. But I didn't have it. And that's okay. But I watched the other women that were in that same exact course with me take what they had learned, and they're hitting the next rank in their business, and they're hitting the next rank in the business, and they're hitting the next rank in the business. And I'm going, what the crap? You did what she said in all of this masculine energy, which I didn't even have that terminology at the time. And you're ranking up. And yet for me, like, this is a soul level, hell no, to do what she's telling us to do. How? I've had the thing happen with the house. My best, most dearest friend. A couple of years ago, they were like, we're in this place that we like, but we're also on this busy intersection corner, and I have little kids. And she didn't want to continue to live on this busy intersection corner. They wanted to move to a different location, a different setup, maybe a little bit more acreage, a little bit bigger house for them to expound into. And they did it last year, and I finally got to go and visit and see it. And I walked in and I was just in awe. Like this gorgeous staircase that goes up to this upper level that is the living space and the kitchen, this beautiful view, like this upper deck veranda that they can see their whole property on. Like from her deck, she can see where her kids are on her property. I was like, oh man, that would be amazing. And then a different level has their schoolroom. She has a devoted schoolroom. Y'all, if we're eating breakfast, we're not doing school because we do it on the same table. And then the compromise that she said she had to have in order to have this gorgeous 4,000 square foot house was that her girls had to share a bedroom and her boys had to share a bedroom because it was only a 3-bedroom home. And I'm like, well, mine already do that. I'd take that. I'd take another 3,000 square feet. Heck yes. And I had it. Like, I was so aware of myself, so aware of my emotional intelligence as I was walking through this home going, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. And going, I could, God, the person that I used to be. Hi, Holly. Oh my gosh, comments are working. Thank you. I used to be someone who would get really down about this situation of like, they have this and I don't. Darn, I wish I could have this. And the whole, 3 or 4 hour visit would have been really yucky energy. Like me in desperation of what my friend has, honestly, towing the line of jealousy from a negative perspective. But I had enough emotional intelligence. I had healed enough that I could sit in desire instead and go, gee, this is going to be us someday. I like that window seat in your living room. I'm going to manifest that in the house that we're going to build or that we're going to buy at some point. I like that window seat. Is it really hot? It's a south-facing window seat. Is that super, super hot? Or is there like some sort of tent on the window? Like, how do you make that not be really hot? And we talked through these different pieces. I'm like, okay, and so tell me about this piece of your bedroom. She has like a workout room right off of her bedroom. I'm like, tell me about this. Do you like it? Do you actually use it? Can you hear your kids? Or do you need something different? She has a sofa in her master suite looking out a different south-facing window. I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing for like just sitting and journaling or reading, or the novelist girl here just curling up with a laptop and writing the novel. That would be so cool. I want that in the master suite that we either buy or build. And so instead of sitting in that desperate of, oh, why does she get this and I don't? I crossed the line into desire and I was like, okay, when we build, when we buy, I want this piece and I want this piece. And, oh, you said you didn't like that part? Okay, we won't have that part, but we'll have this piece instead. Oh, you say you don't like that? Okay, I'll make a note of that. Why don't you like that part? And I got to step over this thin line. Like I said, it's a very thin line. Hi, Kathleen. That is between desperation and desire. It takes emotional intelligence. It takes emotional evolvement. It takes inner healing. It takes chosen growth. Growth does not happen by default. It does not. There's another D for you. Growth does not happen by default. You have to choose it. And so over the last 2 years, I have intentionally, day after day, even on the yucky days, I have chosen to grow. I have chosen to heal. And yes, sometimes it felt like slogging through the deepest, like, quicksand mud of my life. But I am doing it still, and I have done it nonstop for 2 years. And so to walk out of desperation across that thin line into desire earlier this year when I saw her beautiful home, I could do it. I could do it. And now I have started placing myself intentionally in spaces that expand me, that grow me. And actually, that is the course that is dropping this week in Wellspring. You are getting the expansion course. And I'm so excited to give that to the ladies that are inside of Wellspring. Holly is in Wellspring. And so I have intentionally started to put myself in places where I can expand. And instead of going, I just want this too, I can go, I get to have this too. This could be my life. I could have this piece on my property. I could have this piece on my property. I don't really like that. I don't have to have that piece on my property. And so you step out of desperation and you step into desire. Holly says, God, thank you. And so this is the beautiful thing about personal healing, about personal development, about growth, about doing the inner work. Holly says, I love expanding. I love it. And so, but a lot of times when you have sat in desperation for years, when you have sat watching others get the things that you want, when you have sat going, why me? When you have sat going, God, why can't someone else have this illness? When you have sat going, gee, it sure would be nice if I could go for a mile-long walk without any pain. When you have sat in that space for so long, that thin line between desperation and desire grows. And it's really, really, really difficult, genuinely difficult, to step out of desperation and into desire because you've forgotten what it is that Creator knit into you. You have forgotten the desires that He put into your heart when He knitted you in the womb. So Sarah, if I've been in desperation for that long, how do I get back into desire? It starts with healing. It starts with personal development. It starts with growth. And I highly recommend Wellspring for that specifically. But I want you to start, I'm not just going to sell you something, I'm going to give you something here. So I want you to start just writing out your wildest fantasies. Like, what is the thing that you're like, it's never going to happen to me, but wouldn't it be so cool if? Wouldn't it be so cool if we had horses? Wouldn't it be so cool if I didn't have to spend $8 a pound at the grocery store for ground beef? What if it was standing in my field? What would that be like? What are those desires that Creator put in you? And instead of looking at what everybody else has and going, why can't I have that? Flip it and say, what if I could have that? And that's an easy way to step from desperation into desire. Because when you're going, why can't I have that? It gives you a really good indication of what your desires actually are. You just flip the energy around it. So instead of that, it's, what if I could? What if that could be me? And so often we look at other people's lives and we see what other people are working toward. We see what other people are desiring. We see what other people are actually manifesting physically in their lives. And we say, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. And that's a wonderful place to begin. And the more you heal, I want you to reevaluate those desires. Reevaluate, do I actually want to retire my husband, or do I just want to get to a point where he can do whatever he wants to do and he's not, like sitting there staring at me all day long? I had somebody sell me that desire 6-8 years ago of like, let's retire your husband. Let's do that. I'm like, yeah, that would be amazing. And then about, it was 2017, so 5 years ago, I had somebody ask me what my desires were. And that was the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I want to retire my husband. And she's like, and this woman makes like 30, 50 grand a month, 2017. And she's like, so I hear that a lot. And I did that. I've actually retired my husband 2 different times. But our dynamic doesn't work very good when he's home doing nothing. And so I actually, initially I was like, I don't want to hear that because I've been working towards this since 2014. I've been working towards this for 3 years. Why are you telling me not to do that now? Like, I've been working towards this. But the more I thought about it, the more right in a way that she was. Yes, I want to retire my husband from his current position because it's stressful to him. Because he has a nuts schedule when it's snowing. He plows the state highway for a living in the event that you don't know that. He has, like, the bureaucracy around his job is just not fun. And so, yes, I want to retire him from that, but not so he can sit on the couch and play video games. That is not what I want. I want him to be able to do something that he enjoys. He is a shutter bug. He loves to take video. He loves to take movies. I just said video. He loves to take photos. And he has, like, the man in his camera hobby, like, we need a whole room for it. He has lenses, he has cameras, he has video equipment, he has stabilizer pieces, like, he has all kinds of cool stuff. And I would love for him to be able to just go play with it, and if business evolves from it, fantastic. If not, it's okay too. But I would like to remove him from the stressful position that he is in. So, am I calling that retiring my husband? Yeah, I am. But I'm not retiring my husband so that he can sit on the bed right there and stare at me while I do videos all day. That's not the vibe. So I was sold in 2014 this desire to retire my husband. And due to a beautiful woman in 2017, I got to revamp that desire, but it was still no longer desperation. It's desire. So I challenge you, if you want homework from a free video on my personal page, I would love it if you would write a list of 50. Let's do 55. It's the 15th of August. Let's do 55 desires that you have. It might be financial desires. It might be experience desires. It might be family desires. It might be relationship desires. It might be a vehicle. It might be travel desires. Make a list of 55 desires and then message me about it. Like, you can just take a picture of it and send it to me and be like, Sarah, I wrote my desires. If you want to. If not, that's totally okay too. But do this. It's going to take you out of desperation and into desire. Now, here's the thing. This is what's going to hold you up. Let me get a drink here. This is my lunch, but oh well. Oops, sorry. Okay. The thing that's going to stop you is you're going to sit down with your notebook and your pen or your pencil. I have pencil. And you're going to be like, okay, I want a 4,000 square foot house. That would be amazing for our family of 6. I desire that. But what if it doesn't happen? What if I write this list of 55 desires like Sarah told me to and it doesn't happen? I'll be disappointed. Never mind. Not going to write it. Not going to do it. This is what we talked about in part 1 from yesterday. Disappointment will stop a woman in her tracks so fast. And I heard this from 2 mentors in the last week. It's amazing how things run in packs. And I already had this series coming down the pipe when I heard this from the 2 different mentors. And so disappointment will stop a woman. That is a woman's biggest Because if I write this list out of I want a 4,000 square foot house, I desire a 4,000 square foot house. I desire $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 cash months. I desire to travel the United States. I desire to tour Europe. I desire to retire my husband so that he can play with his camera hobby. I desire to do this and I desire to do that, and I desire to have a nanny that travels with us, and I desire to have a photographer that travels with us. But what if it doesn't happen? And then we stop. Because we feel like it would be easier to continue to sit in desperation and continue to be in this emotional state of, why does she get that? Why does she get that? Why does she get that? Rather than grasp onto the desire and run for it. And maybe you only have $4,555 months instead of $5,000 months. But because you didn't hit the 5, you'll be disappointed. So you're going to stick with the $2,000 months instead. I'll take the $4,555 and continue to build my business and know that I'll get to $5,000 at some point. Right? So when that voice pops up and is like, oh, but what if this doesn't work? No. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed. I want you to write this down. If you have paper in front of you, I want it big letters at the top of the paper you're going to write your 55 desires on. Big letters at the top. I mean like this is notebook, like journal notebook, but I want you to write really big. I'll just write it for you here. And I know it's backwards, but oh well. What if it does? So when you write 4,000 square foot, oh, but what if it doesn't work? I would be disappointed. But what if it does? I want to make $5,000 months. Oh, I don't want to be disappointed. No, let's not go there. But what if it does? Oh, that's not going to work. But what if it does? Oh, I don't want to start the business. I don't know how to do that. But what if it works? But what if it does? This is how you handle the disappointment fear. It's not even actual disappointment at this point. You are dreaming. Look at all these D's we got. You are dreaming at this point in the realm of desire. And disappointment's going to pop up and be like, nope, it's not going to work. You don't want to do that. You don't even want to think about doing that. And you just look at it and you say, yeah, I do. Because what if it does? What if it does work? What if it works almost and we're only shy $500 from the $5,000 months? What if it does? And you write the next thing on your list of 55 desires. And you write the next thing on your list of 55 desires. And you write the next thing on your list of 55 desires. This is the 3Ds part 2. This is how you move out of desperation and hold desire at the forefront. And this is the very teensy-weensy beginning pieces of manifestation. And you get to do it with Creator. And it's freaking amazing. So that is the part 2 of 3Ds. And really quick, I want to talk to you about Wellspring because I did mention it and I don't want to just leave you hanging. So if you're like, I've heard the 3Ds, I'm complete, you can go. But if you want to hear more about Wellspring and the expansion course that I just mentioned, hang out for a minute more. So Wellspring is a monthly subscription. It is a year subscription. We started July 15th. We are 1 month into it. And you get 1 day per month with me. An hour with me is $555, y'all. You get a whole day, like 10 to 5, my time, with me inside of Marco to ask me questions, to get live coaching, to expand inside of Wellspring per month. It's the second Tuesday of every month. Unless I, rearrange it. But it's the second Tuesday of every month. You get a whole day. So 1 hour, if you just wanted a one-on-one intensive with me for 1 hour, it's $555. Wellspring right now is $88 per month. Or you can pay in full at $888. For a year. That's 12 single days per month. 12 single days in the year. For, what did I say, 10 to 5 is what, 7 hours? That you have access to me directly. And you get a training per month. Now, the focus of this particular Wellspring training is dripping personal development on you. Dripping personal development on you. Dripping personal development on you. It's this 2-day masterclass basically that I've given you on my personal page on steroids. And so Wellspring is like where the water comes out of the mountain. Where it is, the most crisp, the most clean, the most pure, the most mineral intense, where it comes out of the mountain and it has this beautiful essence to wash over you. That is Wellspring. And we're applying it to personal development. And so it is a dripping process throughout the course of 12 months for you to grow, for you to expand, for you to move into desire and begin to manifest and build the life of your dreams. This is like gosh, I want to do that program with Sarah. I want to do resonance with Sarah. I want one-on-one coaching with Sarah. But right now, this is what I can do. It's $88 per month. I love to give free content like this. I love to be able to give you a starting block like Wellspring at $88 per month. So if that is something that is calling your name and like, yes, I want access to you that 1 day per month. I want to be able to have access to that content that you're creating for Wellspring, for that dripping personal development, all of a year. Yes, Sarah, let me know. Just jump in Messenger and say, Sarah, I want the link for Wellspring. And if, like I said, if you're complete with this 3Ds part 2, then that's fantastic. And I will see you actually tomorrow. I will be back. Ooh, Holly says, great investment. If you're thinking about it, do it. Oh, girl, thank you so much. I'm so excited to drop this week's training for you in there. I'm so excited. And I can't wait to see where it goes. Holly actually had me completely to herself last week inside of the Wellspring chat. That last week was the second Tuesday of the month, and Holly was the one that was available throughout the whole time, 10 to 5 that day. And so she had me to herself for the entire day out of the people that are inside of Wellspring. And so she just got like one-on-one for $88 for a month. It's amazing. So totally worth your time, totally worth your effort. And if you didn't catch the whole of this training, I highly recommend you go back to the beginning and watch up to whatever point it was that you came in. And if you missed yesterday's part 1 of the 3Ds, I highly recommend you go watch part 1 of the 3Ds also. And I will see you tomorrow.